Next, we're going to discuss the varieties of products that are used with trims and moldings. The first one I've mentioned a couple times during the presentation already, and it is custom molding and standard molding, and the difference between those. A custom molding is where the designer goes in, they draw it, and they arrange it and create a special design, and then that's run through a router and it's cut to perform that specific shape or design. Standard trim or molding, on the other hand, is already pre-cut and it's got a typical head and shape. It's the type that you would be able to walk into the store and get immediately. With custom trim and molding, you would have to design it and draw it and then send it to a company that does custom moldings and trims, and then they would have to create that and send it back to you. There are many different types and styles of moldings and trims. The reason for that is the function that it needs to perform and also the aesthetic purposes of a space. Some of the most common ones are baseboards, crown molding, casings, chair rail, picture rail, and wainscoting. There are many more types, but those are the main ones that we're going to go over today. Crown molding, as seen in this picture, is designed to create a finished edge. It is typically ornamented, although that's not a requirement for it. It is set apart by being projected at an angle, and it is placed between the ceiling and the wall. It can also be placed with pilasters or cabinets. If the crown molding is not at an angle, it's not a true molding. It's not a true crown molding. Okay, baseboards are placed between the wall and the floor, and it conceals the area where those two planes meet. It also helps to create a transition, and it protects the walls from cleaning equipment like vacuums. That's something that we had mentioned earlier. It also creates another decorative feature to the room and adds interest and variety. Casings are once again, we talked about those in the definitions, and it is the trim that lines the edges of a window, door, or other openings. Sometimes you will see it in an opening between a family room and a hallway, and it just goes up and around that opening. Casings can also be used as part of chair rails, cabinet trim, and decorative trim. Chair rail is a type of a trim that is fixed on a wall, and it's about 3 feet from the floor. It protects the wall from the back of chairs. Sometimes the chairs will scuff the wall, and so it tries to help to protect that the wall from scuffs, scrapes, and dents. Picture rail is a type of molding that fixed to the wall, and it's sometimes used as a decorative image, or it's also to hang pictures on. Most of the picture rail will have a lip on it so that you can hang those pictures from it. In this picture, those picture frames are inside the picture rail. Wainscoting is a type of molding that includes wooden panels, and those panels line the wall. It's placed on the lower part of the wall, and it's finished differently than the rest of the wall. So in this picture, we see that the wainscoting is the white part with those panels, and it is finished differently, and it's on the bottom half of the wall. There are different materials that can be used to create trims and moldings. More often than not, we expect trims and moldings to be made of wood. Although that's not true, that's sometimes just what we expect because it has been made of wood for so long. There are different types of wood. There's a softwood and hardwood. Softwoods includes Douglas fir, pine, spruce, and other kinds. And some of the common hardwoods are white oak, cherry, and maple. One reason that some people want to use something other than wood as a trim is to save money. Sometimes you will be able to find trim that is cheaper when it's made out of plastic. Plaster is what you will see a lot of decorative moldings made with. Composite material, that's a plastic, and then PVC is also a plastic. Most trims and moldings are made out of sustainable products. Sometimes there are exceptions. However, there are ways of increasing sustainability when we use it. You can use repurposed wood. You might also consider using low VOC paints and stains. You might also use leftover paints from another project if that's something that you can do. And also, you want to use common materials. You don't want to use an exotic or rare type of material because that is more expensive, it's harder to find, and it's not a very good green design. As far as ADA is concerned, the guidebook says that all moldings should be clear of access routes and traffic patterns. Basically, that just means that you need to have free access and easy transition for wheelchair access in and out of a space. So you want to make sure that the trims and moldings don't interfere with that. Also, you don't want to have any sharp corners or jagged edges, just for protection and safety purposes. Fire codes, it is said that all decorative trim located in certain public and residential buildings must be flame resistant and flame retardant. The amount of flame-resistant materials is limited to 10% of walls and ceilings. That's just in some public buildings. If the trim or the molding is less than 0.036 inches thick, then there is no codes that apply. If there is a fire-resistant code for it, it's generally going to be rated in Class C. And that's the end of the presentation. Thank you for listening.